Good morning, goeiemorgen. The Capitanian people are aware. My name is Viljoen. I'm this morning live from Welcome Bay in Tauranga. This is on the North Island, and I'm a financial advisor here in beautiful New Zealand. Today I'm just going to tell you about the last 18 months. We've been 18 months here in New Zealand, and it has been an experience for me that I wish I started 20 years earlier or even 30 years earlier. But after 18 months, what I can tell you guys, this is a dream that has come true. This is really the place to be. There's probably other beautiful places in the world as well. Yeah, I nearly said South Africa there. There's no beautiful places left there, sorry. Yep. I made a list, a short list there of what I wanted to talk to you all about. But let me start with a few things. A few things changed in my life since I moved to New Zealand. I think the major thing that I have lost is the fact that I was very aggressive. I was extremely aggressive in traffic. I was aggressive in my day-to-day work, and I was aggressive in whatever I was doing. And living here in New Zealand and living at a much slower pace, I actually lost that aggressiveness. I can't say I'm not a passive person. I'm still living the life, and sometimes I also feel the anger in me boiling over a bit, but that doesn't happen often. So what I have lost is the fact that I'm angry while I'm driving. At 30 kilometers an hour, you can't be angry at anything. You have to enjoy life. Even at 50 kilometers an hour, and that's now starting driving fastly, you don't become angry. There's no people cutting in front of you. There's no of these white vans driving around and people shouting at you. There's no, there's no taxis around. So that makes life a bit different. There is little white vans around here, and they are mostly used by plumbers and electricians and these guys to move from site to site. And they drive like, like decent people. They give you a chance to move into traffic. At 50 kilometers an hour, they will move out of the way if they are going slower than that, and so on. A few things about the driving is people in New Zealand tend to drive a bit worse than in South Africa, but at 50 kilometers an hour, not a lot happens. So, yep, 18 months down the line, we already went through, on our car number 4, sold 1, wife's driving 1, me 1, kid 1, and of the 3 cars we have, all 3 has had a scratch or a bump in the past in the past 2 months. First off was the wife that has been hit from behind. Then the son was hit on the side while going around a roundabout or a circle, as you guys know, in South Africa. And then the other day my car was scratched down the side where it was parked. So small things that did happen, and that was the bad things that did happen to us. Good things that happened to us, I think that we're getting used to not having to put on an alarm the whole day. We're used to getting not waiting for an armed response. We're used to not waking up at everything at night. And I promise you, I sleep like a baby these days. It's absolutely wonderful to be able to sleep so undisturbed, if I got to say that. So you sleep so deep that stuff that I've never done in South Africa. I've never slept so deep ever in my life. I think in South Africa you just always ready, waking, half awake, half ready for the next thing that can happen with you. So something totally different. Yeah, sleeping patterns that differ. 18 months down the line, I've been in hospital for a quickie. My wife has been in the hospital also for in and out. We saw the hospital from the inside, and it's very much up to standard as what mediclinics in South Africa is. Is that the right word? Mediclinics, yes. Very much the same, on par with mediclinics, and this is all government run, and it's run efficiently and effectively, and it cost us not 1 cent to be in hospital. It's about 2.5 years now since my operation, and it's all going good. And if it wasn't for the fact that I immigrated, I probably would have been dead today. So, yep, 1.5 years down the line, we are settled in. We are in our second house. That's also another thing with New Zealand. You go through homes as you move along. It's not that you get a better home every time, but houses get sold, you don't like the house, it's too far. Our big problem with our first house was it wasn't correctly insulated. It was expensive to run the house. It was very, very far. And then they sold the house when the laws changed that it needed to be correctly insulated. Then we moved down to Welcome Bay, where we are staying now. And I think we've got a gem of a house here. Absolutely correctly insulated. Inside, it's actually hot this morning, although the outside is about 7 degrees. Now we've put a weather station on here. Very soon, our weather station will be live it's already live on the internet, but we'll have it live on our web pages as well, so you can see what the weather is where I'm staying. For the guys that wants to come to Tauranga. 18 months down the line, I can actually say that the wife is in a better condition here than in South Africa. She takes her car, she drives everywhere, not afraid to go anywhere, and I'm not afraid that my wife will go anywhere. So in South Africa, I was really paranoid about her safety and the way she was going. Not that I did want to be looking over her shoulder the whole time, but my main thought in South Africa was, if she happens to disappear, where do I start looking for her? That was normally the big thing that worried me in South Africa. In New Zealand, she takes her car, and when I hear back from her, she's been this side of town, that side. Sometimes she drives to Hamilton. No issues on that. And the big thing is, we drive older cars here, and even if the cars break down, he can break down next to the road, somebody will stop, somebody will help. There's cell phone reception everywhere. And the person that stops next to you is not out there to rob you, they're out there to help you. So quite a big difference between the two countries, and the difference is that we are experiencing this on a daily basis. I do see people going back to South Africa, and sadly that does happen. People aren't happy here, but I can't live their life for them, and they aren't living my life and probably not seeing what I'm seeing. So each to each own on that. On the other side, 18 months down the line, I've seen so many South Africans come into New Zealand. I've seen a ton of them arrive here, and I've seen heaps of them getting job opportunities here. So that door is still open at current. I don't know how long the door will be open. I see a bit of a shift in immigration stats. I see Vanita's also on this page and listening to me this morning, so probably she can confer there. But what I see is that immigration takes a bit longer and takes a bit more time to do things. We see that the amount of residences that are coming through is a bit less. So that door is slowly but surely being pushed closed. New Zealand has now reached 5 million people. That's about 2/3 of the amount of people that lives in Cape Town only. So you got to think about that, and that's over 2 islands. So we are in the position where I think not a lot of people will be allowed into New Zealand in the near future. Slowly but surely they have to stop the numbers of people coming in. There's a heap of Chinese people here. There's quite a lot of Indian people as well. South Africans, tons. I basically just work in Afrikaans. Believe it or not, I speak more Afrikaans in New Zealand than I did in South Africa. And I had a heap of a lot of clients in Cape Town area, and I spoke to them on a daily basis. But in New Zealand, I speak a lot of Afrikaans, way more than I ever did in South Africa. And that was one of my big things, was if I move and I leave my country behind, will I ever speak my own language again? And I can promise you, except if you're English, they also don't talk English really. The English that the Kiwi talk is total different than the King's English or the Queen's English. Sorry, not the King, the Queen's English. Yep, I would say that the Maori population is more English than the Kiwis actually are. But that's a different topic on its own. And it's quite interesting sometimes to try and hear what they are saying, because I miss a lot of that. So, but back to the speaking Afrikaans. A lot of Afrikaans people, you hear Afrikaans in every street, every back and safe, every coffee shop somewhere. Some days I sit in a coffee shop and I just listen to the amount of people speaking Afrikaans, which is which is not everybody in South Africa even speaks Afrikaans. A lot of people speak English, so nothing against the English-speaking South Africans, but if you listen to the amount of people in a coffee shop, sometimes 60% of the people sitting in a coffee shop is speaking Afrikaans. So the other 40 could also be from South Africa, if you think about that, because they could just be English South Africans. But yeah, that's my 2 cents this morning on my 18 months here. I think we have done well for ourselves, making the move at the time we did. As I said, I'm sad we didn't do it 20 or 30 years ago. Then my kids could have grown up in this beautiful country. Then they could have experienced the freedoms that I had as a child and that I'm experiencing now. So, Leandra Horn has a question here. How do I know if my house is insulated? You need to ask your agent that. Your agent has to prove a certificate that the house has been insulated. You'll easily find out now this time of the year. The house is very, very cold on the inside if it's not insulated. And it costs you a heck of a lot of money just to heat these houses up. Last year, my average gas bill, because we had a gas heater in the house, was, the gas and electricity was about $700 a month. So that's quite hectic. Now it's about $200 a month. That's just my electricity. Gas is about another 60. Let's say $250, $260 now for gas and electricity currently. So guys and girls, let's see if we can answer a few of your questions this morning. Somebody asked a question on what is ACC. ACC is an insurance in New Zealand that you automatically get from government side. Alright, keep this in mind. You do pay for it via your contributions that your employer does towards government on ACC. Or if you are self-employed, they do send you an account. I still haven't received one, but probably will soon. This insurance covers you in case of accidents. So if you're in a motor accident, ACC will get in there. If you fall off the ladder, ACC will get in there. I've heard of some of the guys who said if you have been in the pub and you fall over the pavement while walking out, ACC will get in there. But ACC do not cover stuff like heart attacks. They do not cover strokes, the normal run-of-the-mill medical problems that you do have that is not accident-related. ACC will not cover. Also remember, your ACC will eat into any of your income protectors that you do have. So keep that in mind if you have an income protector, that it could be offset against ACC. Then something else that I saw the other day, I was actually walking in a mall, and I saw how people go about and how women tend to not cling to their handbags anymore. This is something weird. I know the South Africans, the real South Africans still in South Africa will know. You chuck your handbag under there and go for it, and then you walk, and nobody comes near that bag. People take the handbag, they put it down on the trolley, they take the handbag, they put it down on the table, and they walk out, go to the restroom. I've seen a lady leave her handbag actually open, and a purse was lying there while she left it in a trolley and go around the corner to go fetch something else. Nobody touches the stuff here. It's just different mindset of people all around you. Yes, there is a bit of crime here, a small bit of crime. If you are bad luck, sometimes something could happen. They stole my neighbor's car the other day. It was one of these souped up things, and I actually think somebody wanted some spares there, so I think that's the reason why his car is gone. But on the other side, our cars, we've currently 2 cars standing outside, and nothing has happened to them. Felix Rees sending a question there. Is there lots of diving in Tauranga or just fishing? There's quite a lot of diving there. We've got a little island just off the beach. It's attached to the beach as well. You can drive all around that. Then you got, I think it's Rabbit Island. The other one's about 150 meters into the ocean. You can dive around that. I've heard the crayfish is quite good there. But fishing is big here. We run out of the harbor a lot. Run to any of the islands out there. Motiti is a big one for snapper, so quite a nice island to go to. It's about, I would say, about 35 minutes with a boat to there. And then you are there and you can catch fish as long as you want to, and then you come back. The ocean here is quite flat. The waves is not that high, so surfing is not a major thing here. Now that could be a few interesting things. Let me tell you about the oceans in New Zealand that I found out. The oceans are hotter here than they are in Cape Town, and they're cooler here than they are in Durban. All right, so in between those two. Then, if you go to the other side, I'm on the Tauranga side. On the Tauranga side, we've got white beaches like in Mossel Bay, those areas. Very much the same type of beaches. We have your sandy white beaches stretching for kilometers. I think this one piece of beach here is about 35 kilometers long here. On the other side, you have black beaches, pitch black. It's volcanic ash that has been ground up over time, and that is deposited on the beaches. Then if you go down to Napier side and Wellington side, you've got pebbles on the beaches. Quite weird, pebbles, round stones. I've never seen anything like that in South Africa, but you've got these round stones on the beaches. You've got no sand at all. Presumably there is sandy beaches somewhere in Napier. I haven't seen them. I've been on the pebble beaches all over. So that is a few things, but fishing is all over. It's quite good. I've never been to the South Islands. I can't tell you what the beaches look like there or what the fishing is like there, but I've threatened all my customers that side, and I'm coming over there, guys, very soon to see what the fishing is and if you guys can really fish there. Marika Sherman asks, what is the average monthly income and can you live comfortably on it? That's basically how long is a piece of string. Everybody gets a different salary on the type of work experience. And the fact is, can you live comfortably on anything? It's all about you. How much can you spend? How much do you eat out? Because eating out is quite expensive here. I'll get back to that. I just want to quickly answer Willem Mini's question here. What does it cost for a day out on the boat? On a day out on the boat, you can actually go down and grab 4 of your mates and rent a boat here for about $350 for the day. You just got to fill it up again once you're finished. You don't need a skipper's license in New Zealand, not at all. Sadly, it's not a requirement. I actually think it should be a requirement. There's quite a few of these jockeys that doesn't understand the rules of the sea and where you are only allowed to drive 5 kilometers per hour. They just fly through that, and that's a bit dangerous. So at least I sound like a Kiwi. Goodness me. Yep, it's dangerous to drive too fast in the ocean on certain areas, and there's a reason why you're not allowed to drive that fast there. So about $350 for a very nice boat. You can rent that for the day, or if you go out of the charter can be expensive. They can come up to about $175, $190 for a good charter. They take you out for the day, give you the rods, bait, everything else, and most of the time you'll catch good fish. The problem is if you rent your own boat, you probably won't know exactly where to go, except if you take one of the locals with you or somebody that has already been out. So that's the one side. On the other side, to the guys that's surfing, the surf is not that major in New Zealand, but they do surf here. To be quite frank, they do surf here. Stand-up paddleboard is a big thing. Canoeing is a big thing. I've seen a few questions coming through this week regarding bringing bows and knives and that type of thing. There are certain rules and regulations on knives which you can bring, but bows is quite a big thing in New Zealand. They have their whole archery, that's right, with the archery classes here and so on. Sarika says they are watching a documentary called New Zealand Coast. I haven't seen that yet. Probably something to be watching. I'll have a look at that thing and then give some feedback on that. Genevieve says, is it advisable to bring your dogs across? I hear rental prefer no pets. Genevieve, yeah, you're quite right. Rentals prefer no pets, and I see sometimes they prefer no kids as well. So it's all a question of you are going to have a bit more difficulty to finding the right rental for your pets. But there's a lot of stuff in rentals that's out. Pets are out. Smoking is out. Smoking in New Zealand, by the way, is very expensive. A packet of cigarettes is about $34. That's 340 Rand in your time. Then Francine asks, how long is it daylight? When does the sun come up? And when is sunset? Does it differ a lot from South Africa? It does differ a bit. It's now winter, they call it bear time. So bear time means you get out of your car and you get into bed and you just snuggle and lay low, because it's winter. It's supposed to be cold and it's supposed to be raining. It's not raining yet, to be quite frank. We have a dry winter this year. It's a really dry winter, much drier than last year. But it's cooler. It's about 7 degrees outside, and then comes summer. And suddenly you've got daylight. Summer starts at about 5 o'clock. You can be on the beach and fish with no torch. And then at tonight at about 10 o'clock, it becomes dark. So between 5 and 10, you've got beautiful, blissful summer days. Not a lot of rain in summer. So that's quite a good thing. Long hours of daylight, and we lose our bear habits then. So Felix said, I've heard you need a skipper's license when you do commercial fishing and diving. Felix, that could be. I've never done commercial fishing or diving. I just do it for personal and personal use, no need. Yep, that's right. Vanita says, come to Auckland if you want rain. We've been to Auckland the weekend past. We've been to the Afrikaans is Lekker show there with a lot of South African guys, and suddenly we were in this massive hall. There's more than 1,000 South Africans there, and they were all filling this hall. And I was just thinking, if every one of these South Africans, if every one of them, just one of them, everyone bring one other South African or help one other South African reach here, and we just do that once a year, we are really helping a lot of people. So for me, it's all about helping people and getting people out of South Africa, because I do understand what you guys are going through there. I've actually seen 3 new people this week, and I sent 2 of them very good jobs last night. I do hope they are very successful with that entrepreneurship or that venture that they could go into there. And then the other guy, he actually got a job. He's a carpenter, and we had a carpenter position open. Actually, a carpenter position came open last, I think, on Monday or so. And he went, and he'll be doing the carpentry position there. Cost of fuel from Talita Diaz. What's the cost of fuel? It's about $2.20. If you're in Auckland, it's about $2.28. Actually, in Waihi over the weekend on Sunday, I chucked in juice for 1.97. So that wasn't too bad. Every time I drive through Waihi, I stop at the local gull and I fill my car up, because juice is very cheap there. I don't know why. So, different than South Africa, petrol, diesel, it's not government regulated. They charge whatever they want to. They do have regional fuel tax. Like if you're in Auckland, you pay, I think it's about 20 cents more per litre, because they want to build something there. I think it's a light rail system or something that they do want to build. So you're paying for that now for something that's going to happen in the future. That's the cost of fuel. What is the best? That's the best comment I've heard. Okay. Good morning, Liana. A bit late now. Can I be the first one that someone brings over? Guys, yes. I actually need everybody in New Zealand's help. If you hear of any job opportunities out there, even if you speak to somebody and they say they are willing to look at a South African, that means they are willing to wait another month or 2 probably for the visa situation to get through. Please feel free to immediately advertise that position on this page. I don't charge people to advertise on this page, but I would love it if you can put positions that are out there that you know of, positions that you feel a South African can fill. And I'm not trying to take Kiwi jobs away here, but I think there is still a need for South Africans to deliver their high quality of work this side of the world as well. If you can do that for us, please do that. It will be much appreciated by me and by everybody else. So, let's say Genevieve says, jobs in real estate. I have my own agency, but looking to come in and start slow and build up. The biggest problem I see is probably the visa thing. I don't know of jobs in real estate that do pay a salary. I could be totally wrong here. So, but there is a lot of South Africans in real estate. Karen Blau, we had her on camera a while ago. She's in real estate. She's selling houses and she's doing extremely well. So, any possibility of a guest who is in the rental industry? That's from Sean. Sean, if you're talking about rental cars or rental houses, I've actually just this morning saw somebody in Tauranga, an Afrikaans lady who does rentals, and she said she's willing to speak to people. So I've sent her a friend invite, but I think this time in the morning, it's just past 6. I think she's still sleeping. So Felix asks, is there still houses left for rent with all the people immigrating? Housing is and will always be a problem in New Zealand. It's always a problem. There will always be a shortage. There's always more people coming in than there is houses. But the other thing, they love South Africans here. If you go to the rental agent, you tell them I'm from South Africa, they'll probably also hear that you are from South Africa, because we speak a different type of English. If they hear that you are from South Africa, they'll probably put you a bit more higher in the queue for a house. So Leandra Horn says, still a lot of teacher positions available for qualified teachers. Yeah, I don't think they'll ever fill all those positions. It's a bit of a problem. Sean said, houses says, yep, that's more than one house. That's my type of English, Sean. Guys and girls, it's 6:26 here. Lovely morning in Welcome Bay. Is there any other questions we can quickly help away with? Hi Jan, is there any giveaways like furniture in New Zealand? They do have a few Facebook pages where they give furniture and old stuff away. And some mornings if you drive through the streets and somebody don't want their couch, you just put it outside and you can pick it up and go. They take their bikes. They take a lot of stuff that they don't want. They just put it down in front of the house and they sell it, or they don't, either could put a price on it or they just leave it there and you can take it. They'll put a little stick on that says free. Then on the other side on stuff, there's what a shop called Op Shops here. It's more hospitality type of shops. These shops specifically go out and you give your old stuff to them. And I won't say they refurbish it, they just put it out, they probably just wipe it down. And you can go and buy really cheap furniture there. It's always you got to look at what you're buying, to be quite frank. You always got to look at what you're buying. You could buy rubbish there as well, I promise you. But you can also buy decent chairs and stuff. We have bought an outside table. I don't know what the color was, but after my wife had it, it's now a type of white. She loves painting stuff. I think she probably paint everything. So that she bought from the op shop for, I think it was $10 or $15 for 2 chairs and the table, which I regard as dirt cheap. So that's the one side of giveaway furniture, so you can buy much cheaper there. Some stuff I probably think you won't take as a giveaway, stuff like beds. You also get furniture that they give away that's in a real bad condition that they just want to get rid of. So Rowan Rupp says, is it better to first do main applicant visa and then partner and student, or to do group application? Worried about it taking longer? Rowan, I got to say this again. I'm an insurance advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I am a financial advisor. I'm not an immigration advisor. Vanita is the immigration expert there. So how you should do visas, if you ask me, mate, you're going to stay in South Africa. Quite frank, I've got no idea. Felix says, can't wait to meet you in person. Felix, yes, I meet a lot of South Africans, and I've been speaking and working closely with you guys, so very soon we'll see you here, and we can do the lekker braai thing on the gas here, or if we have time and the weather is permitting, we can go down to the beach and do a bit of a prawn braai. I'm actually just thinking again, it's time for a new prawn braai. But very soon the weather is changing. This is about 6:30 now, and on the horizon it's becoming red already. Normally it was 7:15 in the morning the sun came up, but it's now nearly 6:30, so sun is nearly up, and it's starting to become lovely outside. Very soon we'll do a few outside broadcasts so you can see what it looks all about from my balcony here. Let's see, what else can we help here? On SA Groups, people frequently post furniture they don't need anymore for anyone to take. That is any IT business analyst work there, and admin as well. Admin is always a difficult thing to get in, because admin, they reckon that the Kiwis can do that as well. So on the IT business analyst, have a look at Seek. Guys, and don't throw Facebook jobs away. Facebook jobs, I've shown somebody this 2 days ago how Facebook jobs work, and actually there was in his field there was positions available, and this was just close by. I haven't even gone to any of the other parts of the island for him just to have a look at that. So don't throw Facebook jobs away at all. But it's that time of the morning where I got to tell you who I am. My name is Jan Viljoen. all the way from Welcome Bay. I'm an insurance advisor. We're on the North Island of New Zealand, and it's 6:30. We had our 30 minutes with each other. Keep it up. Do not give up. There's always a chance, and if you are in New Zealand, please send us any positions that there is in your field, in your area that you know of. Send them to this page. Please, guys, let's help the other ones out there in South Africa. And it's normal this time of the morning. I've got to say, stay safe, guys. Love you, leave you all the way from Welcome Bay. And we see you next Thursday morning or Wednesday evening in South Africa. See you guys all. Goodbye.